All right. And welcome back. We are back. Just a little bit later now. Match two, the finals before the finals of playoffs. Wow, stumbling over words. I'm Miles once again, and joined with me for this match we have
I am Matthew Travis.
fantastic. He's been on every other stream except the one before this.
Yeah.
Crazy. You know what? Let's waste no time. We already know it all. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting roster.
All right, Miles. So tonight we have Pig Dini on our tank. Our DPS lineup is Milkman Mason and Pixis Rose. And then for our supports, we have Vitamin C and Q-Boy Dog 14.
The staples. The staples.
The
of
staples,
roster.
Miles. They're the staples.
The staples. And you know what? Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our map pool for this match. It's going to be starting off on Lejeune Tower, heading over to Midtown afterwards, Shambali, Esperanza, and then Ilios to round it off if we go to a map 5. Now, are you expecting this map 5 against Waynesville tonight, Matthew?
Map 5 banger tonight. It's on the bingo card.
Last time, Wellington, yeah, the bingo card that does not exist.
Exactly.
Last time Wellington did play Waynesville, it did go the distance. We went 5 maps. Is Wellington going to be able to change that? Who knows? Let's go
We're
ahead.
about to find out, Miles.
You know, let's waste no time. Head into the action on Lejeune Towers.
Okay, Miles. Initial comments? We're playing Orisa. And we know how I feel about the Orisa.
We know.
However, we're also on Lijiang. We also know how I feel about Lijiang. And the fact that I'm not seeing a Lucio on the side of Wellington Napoleon kind of upsets me as a Lucio main.
Well, let's let Wellington fall to the doom of the double flex support role, and let's just go ahead and see what they're able to do with the Symmetra. It looks like Wellington's going to be going straight for the TP to point. Going to give them a lot of advantage, even with the Lucio on the side of Waynesville. We do see Pixis Rose going down early there, and Wellington is going to have to step back. Immortality is used, and Wellington's going to have to try to figure something out. Pigdini does go low, is eliminated, and now Wellington is just going to have to end up regrouping and figuring out what to do next, because that was not too pretty, to say the least.
Yeah, and Miles, we see already we're kind of counter-swapping here a little bit as we see the Zarya come out on the side of Wellington. I think that might be able to help out a little bit with the bubbles, but I'm not sure. We need to figure out the Sombra.
Already seeing a pretty good rotation coming out from Wellington, taking it along the back of the point instead of going over that bridge. We do see Milkman Mason playing a little bit aggressive and on his own, kind of his play style, trying to take out on that Sombra. The Sombra does have to get out, and now Wellington, as a group, is moving towards this point. Sombra is out on her own, but we're going to ignore it. Huge nade hit onto the Orisa, but Wellington is not able to capitalize.
Yeah, as we see, Pig Dini has already used both of his bubbles as the amplification matrix comes out. And they find the Lucio to start the fight off, and Pixis Rose is just going on a tear, finding the Sombra as well.
Yeah, 2 eliminations found on the side of Pixis Rose. Pigdini is able to find a third, and now it's kind of looking like it's going the other direction. Orisa decides to regroup. Best case scenario, not give any ult charge on the side of Wellington. And that's kind of a big thing if we're looking at that right now. Wellington, no ultimates now after using that window, while Waynesville used no ultimates that fight, and now has a couple in the bank.
But Miles, that was a huge fight for the side of Wellington Napoleon. Pixis Rose being able to find those 2 initial picks helped out so much.
We are going to be seeing an overclock coming out on the side of Milkman Mason here. And we know Milkman Mason with these overclocks is lethal. We do see the Sombra on point. Milkman Mason goes in, and Pixis Rose is able to clean it up. We are going to see no ultimates used. Grab is used, however. Immortality is trying to keep Waynesville up, but it's no use. Wellington... Was that an Ajax? Did I miss an Ajax?
I think it might have been, Miles. I think it might have been an Ajax there.
An Ajax on the side of Waynesville, that's going to turn the tide in Wellington's favor a lot, I feel like. That's a mental thing at that point.
For anyone who doesn't know, an Ajax is whenever a Lucio goes to pop their ultimate, the sound barrier, and then gets eliminated while casting it.
It's a huge mental thing after that happens, because that's such a big ultimate, but 2 ultimates are used out on the side of Waynesville here, and Wellington is down 3 players. Piggy, the only person really alive on the point, is able to stay alive for a little bit, but it's not going to be for very long. Wellington's able to get up to that 80% range, possibly last fight territory.
And you know, Miles, the only thing I see is the ultimate advantage. Wellington won that ultimate fight. They used 2 ultimates in order to take the point back, and they might not even catch up to the 78% mark.
Bookman Mason still does have this overclock online, and I have a feeling we're going to be seeing him trying to go aggressive. If not, maybe using the high noon. Noon is used here, and I think you're going to get a little bit more from it. Actually, we're going to see Q-Boy Dog go down, but, oh man, that's a lot happening. Wellington not able to capitalize on anything that they use their ultimates for. Uses 3, finds nothing.
Yeah, and that was a 3-to-1 ultimate economy fight there, and Wellington just didn't win the team fight, and that is going to be huge for Waynesville.
We do see a little bit of a desperate pick come out from Wellington. A Moira? I don't know if we've even seen a Moira this season. Window is used. Milkman Mason trying to go for the touch, but is eliminated mid-air. Pixis Rose is able to find 3 or 2, but it's not going to be enough. All of Wellington falls. Waynesville takes round 1 on Ilias.
And kind of a blunder there from the side of Wellington Napoleon. The Moira, not a bad swap, however, poorly executed.
I would tend to have to agree. Yeah, very rough for Wellington that first round. How do you think they should go into the second round feeling?
I would be a little frustrated, honestly. Like, not scared, but definitely frustrated.
Matthew.
I think you have to kind of lean into more of a brawl comp like they have, and swap out the Moira for a Lucio, because I feel like the Lucio offers so much versatility.
Well, as a Moira main myself, why not try it? It's weird, it's funky, let's do it. We are going to be seeing the Symmetra coming out here, and we're going to be seeing the Wellington Napoleon special. But without the Lucio, they don't get there first. All the advantage of taking that teleporter is gone, except for the fact that Wellington might be able to find an early elimination here on the Lucio. They find 2, actually, on the Baptiste and the Lucio. Pixis Rose does go aggressive there, is caught out for that, and now it's just cleaning up for Wellington. Gonna get that first capture.
Miles, I'm going to say it. I think Pixis Rose might be our early pick for player of the match here.
Quite possibly, but he is going to end up switching over to the Mei. And again, I think that's a really good swap, actually.
It's a great idea. It counters a little bit of the Symmetra pick and definitely helps counter off the Rhine.
And
if you can if you can split that Rhine up away from his team, he's completely useless.
Now, speaking of Rhine, our Rhine does go a little bit aggressive there, is able to get caught out for it. No immortality for him at the time. And now Wellington's going to try to just back up to the point here, it looks like. If not, try to back up to spawn, as the people we do have live on point are getting eliminated.
Yeah,
well,
Miles,
actually, hold on.
Pig Dini comes back and
Pig
has a shatter.
Dini! Big slam coming up from Pig Dini. Is able to charge the Rhine off the point. Milkman Mason finds 1 with the Deadeye. Wellington saying, you can have the point, but we're going to take it right back.
Yeah, Miles, excellent ultimate usage there from Pig Dini. And I couldn't use it better, in my opinion.
A huge shatter coming out on the
Perfectly
side.
timed, and he's already.
Whoa! Hold on a minute.
Miles, I take back what I said about Pixis Rose. I think it's gonna go to Pig Dini.
Pig Dini going crazy with the fire strikes.
I'm hopping on the Pig Dini bandwagon today. He's not playing Orisa, he's playing the Rhine. That's what I like to see.
And he used shatter last fight. He has 20% off that shatter.
Again.
Now, what is Wellington going to do here? Basically down no supports. The Baptiste was picked off early. Charge does connect, but guess who has the shatter again? Lands on the Lucio. Is able to find him. Finds 3. Pig Dini staying alive, but is it going to be enough? Just a couple left on the point. The freeze from the Mei is not able to do it, and it's going to be another point capture coming out from Waynesville.
Was it just the soldier left, Miles?
Just the soldier. 20 health, maybe.
Man, it was a good play to regroup there, but I may have done a little trickery and tried to go in and clean the point by myself. If I'm the Moira.
I would tend to have to agree. but you're going to be having this freeze and coalescence coming online. Freeze, pretty aggressive. Lucio almost frozen out of that beat there. Shatter does come out, does not really connect except for on the supports once, but Immortality is able to keep him up. On the other end of this, though, we're going to see Pixie Rose being a little bit too aggressive, is caught out for it, and now we're going to see Pigdini chasing down the other people on the team. Wellington going back for another point capture.
Yeah, Miles, that was a great fight there. Great ultimate usage. I didn't think that we used like I thought the freeze was pretty well placed. It was an aggressive placement, but I think it worked out really well for the side of Wellington Napoleon.
We're just gonna have to see what ends up happening as both supports end up falling down to a fire strike from Waynesville, and that's not gonna look too good for Wellington there as they lose that point in OT back to Waynesville. No ultimates in the bank either for either team.
I know. I was about to say, Miles, I don't see a big ultimate economy here from either team. I mean, we do have Cole Williamson here with the almost has the shatter. And then Q-Boy Dog could build this amplification matrix up relatively quickly.
Wellington kind of just has to look for an early pick, relying on the skill of their players here. Shatter does come out. It is huge. Is able to get 3 charge. Does connect. Gets 1 off the map. And now it's just swinging hammers. Is able to connect. Gets booped off the map. But that's going to be capture for Wellington. And they're going to be able to take this control round. We're going to a round 3.
Well, Miles, like we said it. I said it. This could go to 5 maps. And I still stand by that. These teams are going blow for blow. Elimination for elimination, ultimate for ultimate, Miles. I could see this going all the way.
I would have to agree. I don't know if I even would change anything going into those last points. Maybe a Lucio instead of the Moira, but that's really about all I would change going into Control Center here.
I would have to agree with you, Miles, as we do see the Sombra pick come back out on the side of Waynesville. The Moira could offer a little bit of resistance against that Sombra, being able to dodge out of that or fade away from the hack.
I also think being able to have the biotic orb or a skill orb perhaps in play, doing a little bit of damage to that Sombra to where she can't hack is going to be big. TP out of spawn is used, and we're going to see the swap onto the Mei. Milkman Mason looking like he may be going for a little bit of an off angle here. Kind of interesting.
As we see Waynesville coming out on the Orisa, which does counter the Ryan pick, and I think that could be a big opportunity here for Waynesville.
Now this is where Moira does shine. Skill Orb is used, sent into the backline of Waynesville, but it doesn't look like it's going to be getting a whole lot. Pigdini is low, needing a lot of help from his supports, and Immortality is having to be used. And now it just kind of looks like it's a movement fight, maybe. Just trying to see who can hold high ground here. Coalescence is coming online very quickly. Same with Windows.
As we see the amplification matrix already out, yeah.
Something to note, Waynesville has already captured that point too. And we're going to be seeing the DPS Moira coming out. And Wellington's going to be pushing back, not capping the point, but pushing up towards Waynesville spawn.
Yeah, Miles. Honestly, huge play from the supports there. The supports won them that fight there. Q-Boy Dog being able to build an amplification matrix was absolutely massive.
I mean, as a Baptiste main and everything, being able to build that window early is going to be a huge help for that first fight. We are going to be seeing Milkman Mason finding an entry pick there, and he's going to be chasing after this Sombra who's up on top. Orisa ult is used on the side of Waynesville, but is not able to find anything. Immortality coming out from the Baptiste is clutch for Wellington. Sombra is still being pesky in the backline, but Q-Boy Dog says, nah, I'm done with that. Finds the elimination. It's an even fight for Wellington.
And Miles, if we notice, Q-Boy Dog almost has another amplification matrix online. And this is the second fight. He's building 1 per fight at the moment. As we see Waynesville just wiping the rest of Wellington Napoleon, they're going to be able to recap the point, but Wellington Napoleon's going to have to regroup and try and figure out a way to come back on the point.
Yeah, not a ton of value coming out from the Shatter. And I mean, as a Ryan main and everything, you kind of got to be looking for those Shatters. And whenever you overextend and you can't get healed, even if you do get a good Shatter, you're not going to get any value. Wellington is going to be coming back into this with a freeze. It is used, but Waynesville's mainly able to get out of it. beat is used, Visor in the background, and the Rhine is all sorts of hacked up. We do see a Deadeye come out from Milkman Mason, but he's not able to find anything with it. Everything is going on right now. We are going to be seeing that the Matrix come out. It is keeping up Wellington, and Wellington's able to capture the point again.
You know, Miles, all I'm seeing here, a lot of ultimates happened. As we saw the Blade come out, the Beat came out, the EMP, and the Terra Surge. And then on the side of Wellington Napoleon, we had the Blizzard, the Deadeye, and the Amplification Matrix, Miles.
Did you see all of Wellington going back, trying to look at this Sombra? Long distance Javelin does hit there. Milkman Mason on the flank somewhat, is able to find an elimination. Goes for the Soldier, finds him. Wellington is up in this fight. Immortality is used. Same Coalescence is used on the side of Wellington, trying to play that aggressive, pushing up into spawn. Last 10%. I kind of like this from Wellington.
You know, Miles, I was going to say that there should be an individual player this match, but I can't give it to any one person. I think everyone's had their hero moment so far.
Deadeye comes out, finding the Baptiste while there is someone on point. Waynesville's getting cleaned up in the back line. And as a main, that wall, pretty good there. But we're kind of losing the Sombra. There we go. Oh, Shatter is used, finds the Soldier, and that's going to be the end of Ilios. Wellington able to take that, I would say, pretty cleanly towards the end.
Yeah, I would have to agree, Miles. I think in that last point there on Lijiang Tower, I think Wellington finally came together and was able to play as a group.
I agree. But with that being said, we will be going towards Midtown for this next map. And we're going to see if Wellington can keep up this game and take it up 2-0. We'll be right back after this break. Hello everyone, today we'll be going over the basics of the 5v5 multiplayer game Overwatch. We will talk about the characters and the map types. In Overwatch, you have 3 different classes. You have your tanks, who are going to generally be your front line, and the ones that are taking the brunt of the damage for the team. And then you have your damage, or DPS. Your damage players will be the main fraggers for the team, and these players will be the ones who are dealing the most damage for the team as well. And then finally, you have your support players. Your supports are going to be the ones who are keeping your team alive and sustaining everyone throughout the fights of the game. Now on to the game modes that are in Overwatch. There are 5 of them: Control, Escort, Hybrid, Push, and Flashpoints. Control is a best of 3 King of the Hill style game mode, where the objective is to hold the point to 100%. The first team to win 2 rounds of Control will win the map. Next we have Escort. In Escort, both teams will push the payload the furthest they can. Whoever can push the payload furthest before their time runs out will win the map. In cases where both teams push the payload the entire full distance of the map, the game will not reset, but the cart will start from 0 again, and it will keep going until one or both teams run out of time. Now on to Hybrid. Hybrid is a hybrid game mode between Escort and an old game mode called Assault. For the first capture point, the attacking team will need to capture 100% of the objective. This will then unlock the Escort part of the map, where the attacking team will push the payload as far as they can. Whoever can take the capture point or push the payload the furthest will end up winning the map. Continuing on to Push, Push is similar to Escort. However, instead of a payload, your goal is to push the robot as far as you can. Both teams will be constantly fighting for progress, and whichever team pushes the robot the furthest will end up winning the map. And finally, we have Flashpoint. Flashpoint is similar to Control, except instead of rounds, after you fully capture a Flashpoint, another one will open up on the map. First team to win 3 Flashpoints will end up winning the map. I would like to thank you all for watching, and be sure to watch out for the future for more content about everything Overwatch. All right, and we are back, wasting no time getting back into the action, and I have it backwards.
5, 4, 3.
All right, Wellington is on the right side of the board now, and let's see what they're going to be doing on this attack. The Orisa is back.
Miles, the Orisa may be back, but you know what I see? I see Bastions on both sides. I am loving the Bastion play.
The Milkman Mason Bastion.
Milkman Nation Bastion.
It's going to go crazy. It's going to go crazy.
Miles, it's Widowy gonna go crazy.
It's Widowy going right back to spawn.
As you see, Milkman Mason is the first pick of the fight, and the Emor goes down early as well. As we see Wellington Napoleon back up here a little bit, trying to regroup with Milkman Mason as they need the team regroup.
They are just looking for a little bit of poke right now, a little bit of ult charge perhaps. Milkman Mason is coming back on that Sojourn, which is kind of a... Whoa, hold on now, wait a minute, we missed something here. Cubby Dog already has Window. It isn't going to be much value, but it does get them past this choke a lot, and the Mei is overextended, is an ice block. Wellington should be able to find this elimination, hopefully, as the Mei runs away, Cubby Dog finds it.
Milkman Mason kind of went a little crazy there on the Sojourn.
I think the swap off Bastion helps.
Miles, I think you got a few key picks there.
A key pick? I don't have my keys on me. No key
What a
picks
shame.
for tonight. No key picks for tonight.
Key picks in grayscale. That's all I'm talking about.
But yeah, that's going to be first capture point for Wellington there. Over 5 minutes on the time bank with a lot of ultimates coming online. I think, actually, then again, there's just a lot of ultimates in general, considering there's 5 ready on the side of Waynesville.
Wow. Miles, this is going to be a little crazy for the side of Waynesville. I think we might, as we see Wellington Point get a little aggressive with their ultimate usage, and that might win them this first fight.
It is, I think, and they're able to find entry picks here, which I think is going to be the biggest thing. Even if Waynesville does decide to retaliate with some ultimates, I don't think it's going to be enough, because Wellington has all that sustain from the double flex support, especially with that Moira dumping the heals.
And Miles, Moira's been dumping like she dumps best.
Huh?
I don't even know this, but
anyways, oh man. So let's see. We got a couple ultimates on the side of Wellington. Pixis Rose and Milkman Mason both have their ultimates online. I'm fully expecting to be seeing the overclock come out for Milkman Mason once Waynesville comes out a little bit.
Miles,
But I think
I'm gonna call it. I think we're gonna see a blizzard before we see the overclock.
Actually, statistically, I think we're going to see the overclock because Milkman Mason is going to find an insane entry pick here through the Baptiste window. It's going to try to look for a little bit more. Is he able to find it? It doesn't look like it as they're all hiding away. He does get a little bit aggressive here trying to find the Bastion. He is able to find it. Wellington now aggressive. While a couple men down, it isn't going to matter, I think. Immortality is used for Waynesville, just trying to live for a little bit longer. Same with the beat. Now with all the sustain, I think Waynesville might be able to live through it. Immortality is used for Wellington, trying to keep Milkman Mason alive as he's just juggling around, trying to stay alive. There is your freeze you were looking for, and it is able to get 3. Freeze is now used on the side of Waynesville, it looks like, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a whole lot on the side of Wellington, as Wellington is just cleaning up.
Miles, I think that blizzard on the side of Waynesville was just a last-ditch attempt to try and save this point if they could.
Waynesville dumping 2 of their bigger ultimates into that fight, just trying to keep it alive. Their their beat and their
As we
freeze.
see a swap to Zarya on the side of Waynesville, but I'm not sure it's gonna matter here, Miles. I think Wellington Napoleon's gonna start this fight off with the early ultimate, with the early coalescence, get them into this fight, get them out, and get them farther onto this point.
And with how Mason's playing the Sojourn right now, he's going to have another overclock in seconds. Immortality comes out, is not able to stay alive for very long, as Wellington is able to find multiple eliminations in this fight, and Waynesville's going right back to spawn.
And Miles, I call it like I see it, and I was not wrong.
You are
But
calling it as you see it.
I think we're going to see a little bit of an amplification matrix and an overclock here on the side of Wellington Napoleon, and I think they're going to use them in
I think they're
tandem.
going to use the freeze first, actually. I was incorrect. Milkman Mason is able to find one with the overclock, but Pignini is down. That is a lot of health gone for Wellington here, as they're going to try to push back up onto this point. No ice block available for Pixis Rose, but Milkman Mason is just kind of sitting in the background. He is able to
He's
find
kind of
one.
hanging out.
He's just kind of vibing back there. He's able to
And
fight
he fights
too.
too.
Milkman Mason saying, all right, guys, I know we wanted to regroup and everything, but I'm going to make the enemy team have to regroup again. Q-Boy Dog does end up going down here, so that might be a little bit bad for Wellington. But they're going to keep on pushing it. Milkman Mason finds another elimination here. And it's just another day at the shooting range.
Overclock. Milkman Mason is 75% to another overclock.
He's taken the lobby by storm, but the grab does shut down the WN Esports push there. 2.5 minutes remaining.
And I think it's a fair ultimate trade, Miles. They didn't end up using any in that fight. And they got back and I can't talk anymore.
On the board.
Yes.
You didn't even cast last match. You can't even claim to be going at.
Listen, Miles. Not having classes is a little hard on the brain, okay?
Oh, it's not having classes.
Yeah.
All right, but we are going to be seeing a Reinhardt coming out for Wellington and Ramatra on the side of Waynesville. Some interesting mind games, perhaps. But a Pig Dini Ryan is clean. Milkman Mason finds an entry pick. I sound like a broken record at this point.
That's another
beat canceled. Count it. 1-2 Ajax.
Well, that was such a lame count.
That's a lot of Ajaxes. That is a lot.
There's a lot of Ajax.
It's pretty rare to see an Ajax.
I don't know, Miles. I was prone to Ajaxing a lot.
Well, yeah, that's because you're bad.
All right.
All right. Hey, you're the one who said it, not me.
All right, Miles.
All right.
Miles, what do you think we are going to see on the side of Wellington Napoleon here on this
I don't know,
defense?
a little bit of shenanigans.
I'm calling a Sigma. I want to see a Sigma.
Screw it. Doomfist. That's not Doomfist.
We're both wrong. So we see Waynesville opting for the Moira Baptiste as well.
Are they gonna just
It made me look like a superhero.
go what Wellington's going?
Are they going to mirror?
Are they gonna mirror? Maybe
As we see
possibly.
Moira come out again.
That means
Good old
a lot,
Sombra.
Marissa.
Yeah.
What an interesting.
Locked and loaded. Who's ready to get this done?
Oh man. What else is there to say?
5, 4, 3.
Let's see what Waynesville can pull out for Wellington. I am a little bit worried seeing the Orisa, in all honesty, as we did see that get stalled out a little bit on the push for Wellington, but it might be pretty good on the defense.
You know, Miles, Orisa is a counter to this Reinhardt here, and we've seen Milkman Mason already taking up that ultimate percentage. As we see, he is already at 24% on this fight, and that's 30.
So the Sombra already taken out by Milkman Mason there, and Pig Dini's playing a little bit aggressive. But however, Maywalt is allowing Wellington to just push up, be even more aggressive, find whatever they want. Almost able to find that Moira.
And that was a huge Maywall there by Pixis Rose, and he just continues to be playing very smart. Almost a huge javelin there by Pig Dini, not able to find it though, missing the mark by like half an inch.
We're going to be seeing the swap coming out for Waynesville. Zarya. Now, this did somewhat work on the defense, but isn't going to be able to work on the attack, as Wellington already looks to be charging up those bubbles, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a support line behind you. Baptiste already down for Waynesville. They're going to have to back up and regroup. Wellington's going to push up, trying to get a little bit of poke, get a little bit more ultimates.
You know, Miles, the one thing I'm noticing is the gap in support ultimate charge. As we see, Wellington Napoleon has both their support ultimates online, and Waynesville is not even close to the Moira ult.
We are going to be seeing the Bastion ult being used on the side of Waynesville, but Pig Dini is going to be aggressive with it. He pushes up, but he's going to get caught out for it as well. And Wellington's going to have to back up around this corner. 2 ultimates already being used, and not being able to find much from it is not good. We're going to be seeing a third. Milkman Mason deciding to go on ahead and try to be aggressive with his ultimate. He is able to find one, but it's not going to be enough. as Wellington is actually able to sustain a little bit, it would appear, but I do not like that freeze. Maybe I do like the freeze.
And you know, Miles, that wasn't a bad play by Pixis Rose. Like,
It keeps him alive.
I liked the freeze. I wasn't gonna say it, but I liked the freeze. I would have played that freeze.
Only thing I don't want to say is simply no ultimates on the side of Wellington for this next fight.
I know, Miles. We ended up using 5 in that fight, but as we see, Vitamin C is almost back up to 60% on that ultimate charge, and
that's something you can always look forward to on the Moira. That ultimate charge ticks up.
It's cycling. You just cycle that thing in one fight.
Doesn't cycle whenever you're in spawn, however. Wellington is down a man for this fight now, as we're going to see the Bastional being used. Pigdini is falling down to it. The flick is a little bit nasty, actually, coming out from Pixis Rose. Milkman Mason is still alive, but he will not... Where is he? There he is. There he goes. What do you have to say about that, Matthew?
Yep. A little bit of a rough fight from Wellington there. I think Vitamin C can't get picked first. That is it's a huge hit to Wellington's support line there.
We're not going to see any changes coming out from Wellington here either, which, honestly, I don't think you need to see any changes. Maybe just play a little bit cleaner, try to find a little bit better angles, just like how Cole's going to do right there. Able to find the Kiriko, Milkman Mason, able to get another one. Finds 2, goes on the angle here, trying to find 3, is not yet. Maybe possibly, give it a second. There it is. Looks like Wellington's back in the driver's seat once again.
Miles, I don't really ever think that they were out of it. They just had a one sloppy fight.
He took the corner a little bit wide there and got caught for it. As we're going to see Waynesville coming back, trying to take control of this payload once again. But Wellington has a pretty good hold on it with this positioning and these chokes. And an ult economy. We're going to see Coalescence being used from Vitamin C there. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much other than sustain. Pigdini is using his ultimate, is able to find one, and Wellington able to push up, be aggressive, and do what they want to do.
Yeah, as we saw Pigdini fall a little bit low there, I was kind of scared for the side of Wellington Napoleon.
We're going to see Cleanse being used pretty early there. Milkman Mason, though, says, I'll take advantage of that. Ends up finding elimination, and that's going to be another stagger coming out for Waynesville here. Kind of a repeating theme we've been seeing all night. Big wall coming out from Pixis Rose there, as we're going to see the Bastion ultimate come out. Pretty aggressive, considering that Wellington could just move if they needed to. Actually, pretty smart play there. Not able to find much from it, though. And I think we're going to be seeing an overclock coming out from Milkman Mason. Is able to find possibly something. This is an interesting spot for him to be. Not able to get healing, though, from that place. Freeze does come out. Is able to find the Zarya. And the Kiriko.
Yeah, Miles, and that was poor placement by Milkman Mason and Q-Boy Dog, but ultimately, Pixis Rose and Pigdini wrap up that fight for them.
It's actually going to be a huge stagger, it looks like.
Wow.
That's going to be huge. This is going to put Waynesville at a last fight territory, possibly. But Wellington doesn't have a lot of ultimates. They're going to have the Arissa ult in the Coalescence, but that's going to be it. Big wall coming out from Pixis Rose there is blocking the Sojourn off from being able to view a whole lot. And Wellington is looking for the closure here.
Yeah, Miles, and I do think that we are going to be a little bit aggressive with our ultimate usage here. And I was not wrong.
Big ultimate coming out from Pigdini.
3.
And that's going to be a cleanup for Wellington there, taking map 2 against Waynesville. We're heading to match point. Yeah. 3-1 on Midtown. There was some sloppiness coming out from Wellington there at some points, but they were able to take it back and make it a little bit cleaner. And we'll be going... Matthew, you have anything you want to say, actually?
I was just going to add, Miles, the more that they play as a team together, the more they succeed. every time I feel like they split off, they get picked and then they end up losing the fight because they're just too branched out.
Team play is very important. I'd have to agree. We'll be right back after this break. And getting right back into the action, we're going to have Waynesville attacking on Shimbali Monastery. I don't feel we've seen a lot of this map come out from Wellington this year. So it'll be interesting to see what we do.
Yeah, man, so we see a little bit of a dive comp on the side of Waynesville here.
And we are already going to be seeing an early pick from Milkman Mason again. Pig Dini is able to find the follow-up here. Is slept, however, and now he's going to be going after that Ana. And while Waynesville does get the cart up the hill and around the corner, it looks like that's going to be where it stalls as Wellington is able to clean up the team, find a stagger, and regroup.
Yeah, Miles, and as we see, I'm just looking at the ultimate charts here, and Wellington Napoleon is just building the ults so well today.
I'd have to agree. I would 100% be expecting the support line with double flex support to be eating into each other's ultimate economy, but they both seem to be building their ultimates incredibly quickly, especially on the side of Cuboy Dog, who is 10% away from his own window once again. And that's showing some really good knowledge on the Baptiste, who's going to be using that window early, is already finding 2 assists with it, 3 assists. Wellington, once again, finding a good team fight there. Half the time clock almost already wiped off for Waynesville.
Yeah, Miles, and Wellington is just in the driver's seat here in this map. As we see Vitamin C get into a little bit of a fight with the Kiriko.
A 1v1.
Neither one finding elimination. However, we do have this coalescence online, which I'm looking forward to us using very quickly.
I'd be expecting us to use that very aggressively, and already maybe using that a little bit more for the defense. But the Orisa is caught out. Huge pull coming out from Pig Dini there, able to set up all the extra damage coming in from the DPS and the support line. And Wellington chipping away at that time again.
You see Milkman Mason going for a little bit of a stagger there on the Ana, not being able to find it and getting out by the skin of his teeth.
We are going to be seeing his overclock coming in online here, and he does have the high ground. Fully expecting him to pop it this fight, just trying to get some extra eliminations. And Waynesville, I feel like, is kind of preparing for that, going across and going through this little room. But Pixis Rose is able to find an elimination, being aggressive on the soldier, and Waynesville has to regroup with 5 ultimates online.
They do have 5 ultimates online, but I'm also looking at the fact that we have another amplification matrix online, as well as the Deadeye and the overclock here for Milkman Mason, Pixis Rose, and Cuboy Dog.
And a lot of staggers. we're getting close to last fight territory here if you're Waynesville, and that's looking pretty scary with only 40, almost 40 meters on the push.
Miles, we might see an ultimate dump here in this fight just for Waynesville to get a little bit of progression.
I'd be expecting to see an ultimate dump on both sides here. Still expecting to see the overclock. We're going to be seeing an overclock come out on the side of Wellington here. We're going to see Orisa ult come out on the side of Waynesville. Same with the rush. Overclock is alive and ready. Milkman Mason finds one, finds two, finds three on the tire, and that's going to be four. I'm going to call it four. They did nano the Orisa here, so that is going to be a lot of sustain for them. But Vitamin C is in the fight, still keeping his tank alive. And while Waynesville is able to push the cart just a wee little bit, it's not going to be enough, and it's going to be about to where they were right before this. Last fight here, Pig Beanie does go down. Visor is alive and getting eliminations on the side of Waynesville. This is going to be a huge Deadeye coming out from Pixis Rose here, possibly, as Wellington actually is going to be regrouping.
You know, Miles, on Milkman Mason's overclock there, I want to note, Q-Boy Dog misplaced the amplification matrix, so he did that purely by himself.
That's something crazy, in all honesty. But now we're going to be seeing basically no ultimates online except for Herky, who is possibly going to be having an ultimate within the next second. We are going to see a hack coming out on the Baptiste here. That means no immortality for the near future, but Cole is able to, or Milkman Mason is able to find that entry pick. Cole does go low here, but with the help of his supports, he stays alive for just a little bit longer. And Milkman Mason finding another elimination here, but he is alone. And Waynesville is going to be able to find the first point. Maybe, not possibly. Pixis Rose finds the pick here. Wellington is back in the driver's seat, possibly. Skill Orb is able to find value. And Tiger Steos, WN Esports, stops Waynesville's right before the first point.
Miles, that was looking a little sketchy.
I am just speaking a lot of gibberish right now. I don't even think the things I am saying are words, in all honesty. However, this is a very obtainable push if you're Wellington here. I think you're feeling pretty confident. It's a cool little truck.
What are those trucks? What are those trucks called, Miles? Are those the Hilux? The little, like...
Are you talking about a Toyota?
Yeah.
A Toyota Hilux.
Am I thinking of the right thing?
No. Are you thinking of a K truck?
Yeah.
Much lies in store.
That reminds you of a little K truck, Miles.
It is kind of like a little K truck. That is fair.
Except for the fact that it isn't
It's not.
on the ground. It hovers. As we see the Genji come out from Pixis Rose and Milkman Mason on his signature Echo.
The reincarnation of Big Gav.
And Miles, we see an Olari come out on the side of Waynesville here. Seems to be a little interesting. I haven't seen a whole lot of Olari come out so far in this high school season.
If I'm not mistaken, I do believe Jackson Shaw, Q-Boy Dog, was playing some Malari last week. However, that was not last week, yesterday, but that was a silent stream, no casting. Wellington is playing this a little bit differently. The DPS line kind of showing some of their flexibility here, and it'll be interesting to see how they play. Huge reflect, bigger dash into the wall there, however, from Pixis Rose. And Milkman Mason on the flank. Sticky Nate's not able to land, but he's able to get a lot of missed shots from the air.
Miles, he's used to hit scan. Okay, leave it. Give him a minute to readjust, because I know Milkman Mason, and I know that he can definitely cause some chaos here.
As he did just find an elimination on the Junkrat, and Wellington's getting a lot of free push here. Not a whole lot of resistance. It'll be interesting to see what Wellington does.
One thing we can always count on is Q-Boy Dog always Q-Boy Dog always building up these amplification matrices really early.
And there it is. It's not going to really matter a whole lot. Oli finds one, but it does look like Wellington will be pushing it up. And with that, Wellington Napoleon Esports will be going to state 5 years in a row. Anything? Is that? Did you? Are you there? Hello?
Sorry, Mouse. I'm back. I'm back. I had to take off the headset in excitement.
In excitement. Okay. Well, with that said, Wellington Napoleon going to state, going to Springfield. That is 5 years in a row. A great accomplishment and an undefeated season.
Yeah, great season by Tiger Steos and Wellington Napoleon Tiger Steos. So used to saying Tiger Steos. That's what it always used to be.
Yeah, I have said it multiple times, and then I instantly say W in Esports afterwards. But yeah, I think we do not have a player of the match interview for tonight, sadly enough, but that will probably be it for the stream tonight, and probably be it for the stream for the year. Wow, yeah, that was a quick season. All right.
Well, it seems like it was a quick fall for everyone. It felt like fall went by fast for everybody.
So true. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and sign off for tonight, and we will see you all at State. See you around.